This is a spray wall, which is very good for a lot of things. And when it comes to setting a boulder on the spray wall, I have a few fundamental things that I like to keep in mind. Let's get started. When you set your boulder on the spray wall, you might be thinking you need to work your weaknesses or strengthen your strength. But to me, the most important thing about you setting a problem for you is that the problem has to be cool. When a boulder is cool, it automatically motivates you to climb it. It doesn't matter if it's easy or hard. So long as the cool factor exists, it will make you try harder. And that's the important thing about setting a boulder that you're willing to come back to time after time. Some people may say to use the whole spray wall, to utilize all the great variety of holds. But let me tell you something. I just like these pinches. A lot of my boulders revolve around these big, lovely pinches. Now, is that a problem? Could it possibly be that I'm undertraining all my other grips and only overly focusing on one type? Is that a bad thing? You need problems that you like and that you can climb every single day. Just because 99% of all my boulders involve some form of a pinch doesn't mean 99% of my boulders are easy. It doesn't mean that all my pinch problems are V1s. They can go all the way up as high as I want them to be or as low as I can. Just because you're really good at one thing doesn't mean you're awful at everything else. Let me tell you a little secret. I'm actually not that good at pinches. I'm actually pretty bad. So why am I using pinches? To train my weakness? No, I don't care about that. I climb on pinches because I think they're fun knee holds and they're fun to hold and use. Before that, I hated pinches. Only on this wall do I like pinches, so I climb on the pinches so that I can continue to climb on this wall, so that I can continue to get better on this wall. And if my pinch scale goes up and my crimp stays the same, it doesn't. It definitely goes up because here's why. This line represents all my other grip strengths. This pinch represents my pinch. As my pinch rises, all the rest of my grip strength rises as well, whether I want them to or not. You think you're good at holding jugs? Let me tell you something, I'm better at holding jugs. Not because I practice holding jugs, but because I practice all the other grips, and all the other grips will translate to all the other grips one way or another. It may not be one for one, but I'll tell you something, I've never really ever actually practiced pockets, and look at this. This is a pocket. Look at this. Never trained that. All of this is just to say, to make sure that your boulder is cool. Here's how to make it cool. In my humble true opinion, less is more. Though there's a plethora of footholds that can be utilized, when I set my boulder problems, I typically only use one foothold. Why? Because that allows my other foot, my off foot, to learn the ability of smearing against a wall that's at a 40-degree angle, which is actually a pretty unique skill. Is the best smear here, here, or even up here? Sometimes, do I just need to flag it or go behind? Versus just having another good foothold where I could just push off of. I like to utilize my off leg, and this helps me be a little bit more technical without needing to use another foothold. The next step to setting a cool boulder is you need to use an undercling. Why? Because not a lot of climbs outside have great, lovely underclings. Not to mention the undercling forces you to maintain foot tension as you push upwards, whether on a good foot or a bad foot. No matter what, if the foot slips, the hand doesn't work because it's an undercling. So you can't just purely hold it and crimp it. You need to have great body tension. Typically, and if applicable, all your undercling should start from a sit start. Therefore, you're able to utilize the whole of the wall going from the bottom all the way to the top. Of course, it doesn't always have to be that way, but starting with an undercling start like this, lock. Cool. In order to maximize your coolness, at least one of the major moves of your boulder must involve a cut loose move where your feet are swinging about for no other reason besides it's cool. And if you don't believe me, you don't know climbing. Does that look cool or does this look cooler? And the key to make a cool move cooler is to make an unnecessary move necessary. I want to cross my hand through to this pinch, but why can't I just go like that? And it is up to you to force the cool movement in order to make it cool. But you're wondering, what about my weaknesses? Well, I would simply say, your weaknesses should never overshadow your strengths. Your strengths should always be a strength, and when you work on your weaknesses, they should simply become not a problem any longer. Let's enter the actual physical side of setting things now in terms of a pure physical strength point. And this method works every time it works. Step number one, if you can hold the position, you have a chance of going into the position. If you can reverse the position by one move, and then grab the hold, there's a chance you could do that little sequence. And we're just gonna simply repeat that all the way till the beginning. In terms of the difficulty of the move that you should set, here's a simple algorithm. Here's how this algorithm is gonna work. If you climb V7 or below, your boulder is gonna be set at your max grade. If you climb V10 or above, your boulder is gonna be set at 2 grades below your max. And if you're in between, good luck. The reason why V7 and below climbers will set their max grade is because you probably won't sandbag. The reason why V10 and above climbers will set 2 grades below their max grade is because you probably will sandbag. And this grading methodology allows you a problem that you can do in 1 to 2 sessions. Now there's 2 types of problems that I recommend you setting on your spray wall. There's sustain and one move wonders. Sustain climbs are boulder problems where all the moves are around the same difficulty. This helps with execution, management of energy, being angry, being efficient, and just making sure you're able to breathe through the whole problem. I recommend these boulders be as long as anywhere from 5 to 10 moves, and it could be as short as, just 3 really hard moves. But the point is, all the difficulty of the moves are very close and right next to each other. One move wonders should make you feel some type of way. These boulders are the ones where you set one very hard move followed by a decent outro, or the inverse where it has a decent intro followed by one very hard outro move. Now, the greatness of these one move wonder boulders is it really makes you question whether you're a good climber or not. Because these one move wonders should be very difficult. Nigh on almost your max grade, but just all into one move where you have to focus on the micro beta, get even angrier, and then execute perfectly in order to hit it just once. And the really good thing about these is once you hit it just once that first session, it's a very good thing to come back to it and hit it again the next one. As the months go by, you get better at that movement and you realize, I'm good, I could get better. This used to be hard. This one move wonder is now just another move. And by doing harder and harder one move wonders and building up a collection of one hard moves inside your head, you now diversify your ability to do hard moves in different angles and perspective, which is obviously applicable for nigh on everything. The most important thing to remember is when you set your spray wall boulder problem, make sure it's cool. The grade, everything else, everything I just said really doesn't matter unless it's cool to you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ask some questions, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.